In this video we will share some interesting facts about chemistry. The Olympic gold medals are not completely made of gold. In fact, they are made of at least 95% of silver, containing a minimum of 6 grams of gold. Surprisingly, 20% of the world's oxygen is produced in the Amazon rainforest. This is the largest rainforest on Earth. Its basin covers 40% of the South American continent. Friedrich Kekulé conceived the idea of the benzene structure, and its resonance forms after a dream in which he saw a snake seizing its own tail. Adding Mentos to a bottle of Coke causes a large amount of pressure to build up. This basically makes the Coke go flying as a soda geyser. The responsible process is called nucleation. Graphite is used in nuclear reactors as a moderator. Basically, a nuclear moderator decreases the speed of neutron release, allowing to control the nuclear chain reaction. A relatively complex process takes place when you cut an onion. This results on the release of propanethyl S oxide, which is an irritant of the lacrimal glands, which release tears. Soap is a mixture of amphipathic molecules, which have both a hydrophobic chain and a hydrophilic head. In water, these molecules, such as fatty acid carboxylates, are arranged forming micelles. Planet Uranus is indeed rich in extremely flammable gases, methane and hydrogen. But the burning of these gases requires oxygen. While we take oxygen for granted in Earth, Uranus simply doesn't have enough for the flammable gases to burn. A crystal is a solid substance that presents a highly ordered arrangement of its microscopic components. On the other hand, glass is an amorphous non-crystalline solid, which are usually produced by rapid cooling of melted amorphous materials, such as silica or CO2. The origin of life is basically the transition from chemistry to biology, and it is estimated to have happened on Earth around 4,000 million years ago, when gaseous water first condensed to give liquid water. Sound travels around 2 to 3 times faster through helium, making high frequencies sound louder than low frequencies, making your overall voice sound higher in a funny way. The hardest substance on the human body is enamel, the external tissue that covers teeth. It is made up almost exclusively by minerals, being calcium phosphate the main component. Ethylene is a gas that acts as a growth hormone for plants. It can be released by plants and fruits, and at the same time, it regulates processes such as aging or ripening. The Mole Day is a sort of funny celebration day for chemists, which takes place on the 23rd of October between 6:02 a.m. and 6:02 p.m. This makes the date to be 6:02 10/23. This celebrates basically Avogadro's constant, as 1 mole of each substance contain Avogadro's number of particles. The layer of ozone present on the stratosphere protects us from most dangerous UV radiation coming from the sun. Over the 1980s and 1990s, more accurately, a zone of partial depletion or lower ozone concentration in this layer was dangerously growing in size, as a result of people abusing the use of CFC chlorofluorocarbons compounds. The striking surface of matches is made up of sand, powdered glass and red phosphorus. When the match head is dragged along the striking surface, the sand and powdered glass cause friction and heat, which is enough to convert some of the red phosphorus to white phosphorus, a chemical so volatile that it ignites in the air. Can you turn lead into gold? Alchemy, the proto-science of chemistry, believed that it was possible to transform other metals into gold by the use of a philosopher's stone. Now we know that is not possible, it was just myths and magic. However, it can be actually done by using nuclear transmutation. Using road salt as a means of freezing point depression, which means that road salt can lower the freezing temperature of the water. Salt makes ice melt faster, which helps to remove ice much faster. The ocean is blue because water absorbs colors in the red part of the light spectrum. Like a filter, this leaves behind colors in the blue part of the light spectrum for us to see. Absolute zero is the lowest temperature possible. At a temperature of absolute zero there is no motion and no heat. It occurs at a temperature of 0 Kelvin, or -273.15 degrees Celsius, or at -460 degrees Fahrenheit. In the summer, air temperature is higher and holds more water vapor, which raises the level of humidity. High humidity makes temperatures feel hotter, even stifling, because all the water vapor in the air makes it difficult for sweat to evaporate from our skin. This makes it hard for us to cool off. Copper, gold and silver are known as coinage metals because they were used to make coins. All the metals are noble with respect to chemical activity. Chemical compounds typically used as oxidizers in fireworks are nitrates, chlorates and perchlorates. The sulfur and charcoal act as the fuel, while the potassium nitrate acts as an oxidizer, which is crucial for the creation of fireworks. An oxidizing agent, a fuel, metal compounds for color and a binder are needed to create a proper firework. Buckyballs, also known as buck, Minster fullerene, is a type of fullerene with the formula C60. It has a cage-like fused ring structure made of 20 hexagons and 12 pentagons, and resembles a football. Each of its 60 carbon atoms is bonded to its 3 neighbors. Iodized salt is salt that contains small amounts of sodium iodide or potassium iodide. It contains added iodine to help prevent iodine deficiency and thyroid problems. Kala Namak or black salt is a kiln-fired rock salt with a sulfurous, pungent smell used in the Indian subcontinent. It is also known as Himalayan black salt or Sulmani Namak. It primarily consists of sodium chloride and trace impurities of sodium sulfate, sodium bisulfate, sodium bisulfite, sodium sulfide, iron sulfide and hydrogen sulfide. Sunglass manufacturers usually make lenses out of either glass or plastics such as polycarbonates or polyallyl diglycol carbonate. Aluminum or silver coatings give lenses a mirrored look. Metal oxide coatings reduce the amount of UV radiation transmitted through the sunglasses, protecting the eyes. The oxides can also provide a colored tint to the lens. Butane is a hydrocarbon and a highly flammable, colorless, odorless, easily liquefied gas. It is typically used as fuel for cigarette lighters and portable stoves, a propellant in aerosols, a heating fuel, a refrigerant, and in the manufacture of a wide range of products. The chemical name of Cendor is vermilion, having the chemical formula as Pb3O4. Cendor or vermilion is red in color as it is made up by crushing lead and mixing or reacting it with oxygen. The lead in it gives it its bright red color. Borosilicate glass is a type of glass that is known for its high heat resistance and durability. It is made by melting together boron oxide, silica, and other compounds at very high temperatures. This process creates a glass that is highly resistant to thermal shock and chemical corrosion. Tincture of iodine, iodine tincture, or weak iodine solution is an antiseptic. It is usually 2 to 3% elemental iodine, along with potassium iodide or sodium iodide, dissolved in a mixture of ethanol and water. Tincture solutions are characterized by the presence of alcohol. It was used from 1908 in pre-operative skin preparation by Italian surgeon. CNG is an abbreviation of compressed natural gas, whereas LPG is an abbreviation of liquefied petroleum gas. The primary difference between CNG and LPG lies in the components that make up these fuels. While CNG is primarily made up of methane, LPG is primarily made up of propane. Artificial sweeteners are sometimes hundreds to thousands of times sweeter than sugar. They work by allowing your brain to register the sweet taste, yet the way they are broken down in your body is different from sugar. So you get a sweet taste without the extra calories. Saccharin is commonly used as a sugar substitute because it doesn't contain calories or carbs. Humans can't break down saccharin, so it leaves your body unchanged. It's around 300 to 400 times sweeter than regular sugar, so you only need a small amount to get a sweet taste. Nylon 6,6 is a synthetic polymer which is a polyamide or nylon. The nylon 6,6 is formed of 2 monomer units each containing 6 carbon atoms. The 2 monomers are hexamethylene diamine and adipic acid.